takes a very small amount of people to control the general population. How many Germans were actually members of the SS? How many Germans were actually legitimate Nazis?
Now that's a good question. What was the percentage of that population were actually a part of it, were actually in agreement with that plan and moved forward with it, and they were gung-ho about it, and they had the swastika, and they were doing the whole 9 yards. What's the percentage of that? We look at our own American Revolution, and we look at percentage, and you were like less than 30% were in agreement with fighting England or breaking away and becoming independent. You had much more were saying, no, we should stay. You had a large number who were on the fence who were like, not sure or were not interested. And then you had this small group who said, yeah, we want to do it. And that small group are the ones who mobilized and moved on it.
Yep. No, and it was never a majority idea. The concept of revolution from England was never an idea embraced by the majority.
Right.
That's why we're a republic. It doesn't take a majority.
Now, don't say that, because we were supposed to be under the impression we're a democracy now. Okay, which means we elect our leaders.
After hearing Obama speak, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. Whenever
he's not my president. He's the UN ambassador.
Yeah. Whenever I run into someone and we start on that republic democracy thing, right? Which it happens all the time, though. It's just incredible how we're still talking about it years later, and we're still trying to teach people about this stuff. But every time that it comes up, I say, look, in a democracy, you elect a leader, and they go up there and do whatever they please. There's no rules for them. In a republic, you elect a leader, they go up, and they have to act within rules and guidelines that restrict what they can do. That's the difference.
Yeah, like the Senator Barack Obama saying that the president didn't have the authority to attack another nation unless it was an imminent threat to the land of the United States.
Yeah.
And Biden said the same thing.
I guess they forgot. We may want to send them a little reminder. But, you talk about mobilizing people. What would have happened if 10 million people showed up at the doorstep of the White House and said, you're out of here. You're gone. Goodbye.
Tear gas.
Yeah,
10,000?
Yeah.
You had 5 million there.
All right, what if 5 million showed up and said, you out. You're gone. You're being evicted. You're out of here. Would we see the U.S. military move on us, on the American people, the way that they did in Tripoli?
No, because Obama will say, well, I didn't see him like you did at the Tea Party. He just won't see him.
He didn't answer he wasn't home that day.
Yeah.
The idea, but you're asking a fundamental question, and it is probably the most important question that needs to be asked, because if there is civil disobedience, and we get to the point where we have nothing left but civil disobedience, if we have civil disobedience in our country, will the military follow suit? It was always said that in Russia, when the Soviet Union fell, the people in the tanks wanted to join the people outside protesting, but they couldn't because they were in the army, and it was very regimented. And I mean, Russia was one of these places where they would have decimations. They would make their soldiers kill each other just so they would stay in line. And the concept of martial discipline. I mean, there are a lot of soldiers that are really dumbed down, and these guys will follow orders blindly, and they won't question. I mean, it's the Paris Island, right? The questionnaire that Marine Colonel put out about the Paris Island questionnaire, and it was 29 palms. 29 palms, the questionnaire about would you disarm American citizens and all this, and they said, yeah, we do it. I mean, overwhelmingly, these Marines who swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States said that they would disarm the American public. So what would happen within our military, because we faced this question before in our history, and we will face it again at some point if we have massive civil disobedience.
And I asked that question today with somebody that said that their brother was going to go and be a fighter pilot over Libya. And I said, is he going to go? And he goes, he has no choice. And I said, it's an illegal order. And he just looked at me open mouthed.
Yeah, he has an obligation. It's, you know, it's not just his right; it's an obligation to disobey an illegal order. Yeah, and that's what was taught to me in boot camp. You know, so right at the beginning, when you first hit the military, you go through the UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, and it's in there. That's what
They
it says.
must
I
not
don't know
do
if it's
it
still
anymore.
there.